This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect those of WPSL, but we're the ones that have encouraged you all along to like and share them on social media, because it's time for the science of caring. Careology, presented by CareBag, hosted this week by Miles McGrath.
Cliff, thank you so much. So delighted to be here on this Thanksgiving week, and I'm grateful for you and all your magic that you make this happen.
Somebody's cooking already too, because I can smell some turkey cooking in the background.
Wow!
Oh, it's the playback on YouTube later in the week. Okay.
So we have an amazing guest today, Andrea Pearson. I'm going to introduce her in a little bit, but before I do that, I want to talk about an important event. I want everybody to put on your calendar, January 20th. It is our annual gala we're having at the Cape Club in Palm City. If you are interested, please visit our website, carebagfl.org. You can find out information about reserving your tickets. If you can't make it to the event and you know someone that wants to give back and wants to be part of CareBag and helping CareBag, it's a great way to have fun and be involved, meet some cool people, rub elbows. There's going to be all sorts of dignitaries there. There'll be some prizes, there's auctions, there's music. It's going to be a great event. So again, it's called the Aloha Brunch. That's January 20th from 11 to 3 p.m. at the Cape Club in Palm City. So next I want to introduce Andrea Pearson, who is an amazing individual who does so many different things in the community, wears a lot of different hats, but one of her passions is self-improvement and using and going on a journey through journaling and self-discovery. And I invited her on here because that's, as we get towards the end of the year, it's a great time to start planning the year ahead and make changes. A lot of people want to make changes in their life. And then one of the best ways you can do that is through journaling. And I brought an expert here who's written a book about it called Embrace Your Essence, A Journey of Self-Love. And welcome, Andrea Pearson.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
You're so welcome. And when she's not writing and talking about improvement and things of that nature, Andrea, what is your kind of your day job? What do you do out in the community?
Well, like you mentioned before, I wear a lot of different hats. I am a certified life and health coach, and that's where the inspiration for the book came from. I do love helping people, and I also work for the local Chamber of Commerce, Jensen Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Wow. And what do you do at the Jensen Beach Chamber of Commerce?
I work with our current members to make sure that they're happy and that they're making the most of their benefits from the membership. And I try to get new businesses to see the value of joining us.
Oh, wow.
So I do their sales and marketing.
How about that? Well, that's awesome. I went through this book, and I'm really passionate to believe that journaling is a life-changing activity on a daily basis. A lot of people do it, but what got you to actually sit down and create kind of a framework that people can do, to go through the effort to put that out there? What was the motivation for you?
Well, I love writing. I did write a book in the past, and when I went through my health and life coaching certification, you had to actually go through the program yourself, and they stress the importance of, if you want to be a coach, you have to put in the work yourself.
Of course.
So I have always done the affirmations, the gratitudes, journaling, and then I decided to create one to help others, just give them the base that they could work from, because sometimes people don't know what to ask themselves and what they should do in the journaling process. So that's why I created this journal. I just provide some prompts for them to get them along the way.
And we're going to go through some of those prompts in the next hour. How long have you been journaling?
Oh gosh, years, many, many, many years, at least 10 years.
Do you have a favorite type of journal that you use, or is it kind of?
Believe it or not, some of my favorites are just the blank journals that I fill in myself. I write my gratitudes every night, my affirmations, and So
I need a little bit more specificity. Or is it an 8.5 by 11? Is it a bound journal? Is it a 3-ring spiral journal? Is it a, what is it?
I do use an 8.5 by 11 because I just like to have the more space.
Right.
Hmm.
And you like do a half a page a day, or like, or is it mix?
I do a whole page every night before bed.
Right.
So I write down minimum of 3 things that I'm grateful for.
Right.
And then I write down my affirmations for the day, and I just write it over and over and over and over. So I complete the whole page. And then sometimes I'll just write my goals for the day, because I believe that what you're thinking about, the 30 minutes before you fall asleep, that goes into your subconscious level.
Right.
And that gets processed into your brain. And I mean, sometimes you can even dream about what you thought about before you falling asleep.
So you recommend before you go to sleep, the 30 minutes before, that's for you is the best time to do work in
Yes.
your journal.
Yes, for me. And then in the morning, I usually repeat the process, but I just do it all in my head instead of writing it out, because I like to set the tone. I like to start my day on a positive tone.
I've been doing some research on this subject, and I ran across the work of Louise Hay, who was big in affirmations,
Love her.
and I noticed in your book you have a quote from her.
Mhm.
What is your favorite affirmation?
Honestly, I don't have one favorite. It depends on where I am in that particular moment in my journey, what
Oh.
I need to hear that day. So it might be something personal, might be something work related, might be something about my relationship. So it truly varies.
And if you could, let's back up a little bit. How would you define, what is an affirmation?
It's a positive statement, something that you believe or that you want to believe about yourself, or a situation that you want to make it happen.
And how do you come up with the affirmations you're going to use for yourself?
Sometimes I'll look online, just get some ideas, or there's apps that you can find, or like, Louise Hayes, she's got some great ones. And sometimes I just create them based on the situation that I'm in that moment.
I heard something recently that a good way to create affirmation is to kind of think about our limiting beliefs and then reverse those and turn them into affirmations. What are your thoughts
Yes.
on that?
Oh, definitely, 100%. So sometimes if you're like, I'm not smart enough to figure this out, then yes, exactly. You reverse engineer and say, I am smart, I am intelligent.
So if you were having that thought that I can't handle this, I'm not smart enough, you could turn that into an affirmation of I am smart enough, I can handle this.
Definitely.
As something you could repeat for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're working with your clients, would you say you run across a similar block that people have that you've encountered that's common among your clients that you work with?
Yes, I think the general broad one would just be I am enough. And you can relate that to so many aspects of your life. I
So
am
they
enough
feel
is
like
a
they're not
great,
enough.
Mhm.
And what does that
Whether it means I'm not enough intelligent, I'm not good enough to do this, I'm not smart enough. So just whatever their self-limiting belief is, you can just state
So you would
in the
turn that around
positive.
to I am enough.
I am enough.
It's,
Hmm.
I like the one that Louise talks about is I love life and life loves me.
Hmm.
I thought that was a good one. But there's more than just affirmations in this book. There's all sorts of meditations. There's a whole process here of guiding yourself through that. One of the things that caught my mind was this practice of doing a vision board. And we've all heard about vision boards. So I want to just ask you to walk us through, first off, what is a vision board?
A vision board is exactly what it sounds like. It's a board. You can use a piece of paper or a thicker cardstock, whatever size you like, poster size. And it's just a board that shows what your vision is for the future, what your goals are, what your dreams and
So
aspirations are.
what do I put on the board?
So you can put, if you have a career goal, so if you wanted to write a book yourself,
Right.
you could do images, you can cut things out from magazines and put pictures of books on there. If you want a certain car, you want a certain type of boat. And the more specific you are, the better. So what you put out to the universe, the more specific you can be, it's more likely to come back to you.
So you take a kind of a rigid board. Then what kind of, do you glue it on there, or
Yes, I glue mine
how do
on.
you, what kind of, use like glue stick
Yep,
or?
glue stick.
Wow.
Hmm.
Have you ever printed things off from the internet, pictures that you
Yes,
see, or
I
do you
have. Yep.
mainly use magazines?
I use the internet. Yep,
Do you?
Google Images.
And you
Mhm.
find what you're looking for.
Yes.
How long, have you ever done a vision board workshop?
No, and I've wanted to.
Right. How long does it usually take you, from start to finish, to do a vision board?
I usually don't do it all in one sitting. I like to really put a lot of thought into it.
Right.
So sometimes I'll take a process of just looking through different
Right.
magazines, getting ideas. Then I'll cut through them. Then sometimes I take a break. Maybe a few days later I'll go back and cut through some more. So it really varies. I don't think it's something that you should rush.
I agree. What I do is I keep a folder on my computer, and as I see things throughout the year or quotes, I pop them into the folder, and then I know that about this time of year I'm going to start my vision board process. And so then they're easily available. Then I can then print those images and quotes out. But you have some really interesting stuff that are like a head start in this book on how to do that. I thought that was really interesting. So how long have you been doing vision boards?
Oh gosh, probably at least a decade. Another great source is Pinterest. You can
Pinterest.
get great affirmations, quotes, images uh, on Pinterest and save them. You pin them.
Right.
So everything's in one spot.
So that's the value of Pinterest.
Yes.
So now,
It's a visual search engine.
so I've taken the time, let's just kind of run through this. It's, we're getting through the holidays. It's kind of a gift you can give to yourself to create your
Yes.
vision board. So these pictures are going on the board. What do I do after I create this vision board? What do I do with it?
So you want to keep it where you will see it multiple times throughout the day. You can even take a picture of it and keep it on your cell phone, keep it as your screensaver, your wallpaper, because you want to just constantly be seeing it.
So let's say I'm doing all those things. What kind of expectations would I have on the vision board? What are some things that have happened for you over the last 10 years of doing a vision board that you've seen come to
Well,
result?
You got to remember with vision boards and manifestation, you actually have to take action. You can't just put it out there and hope that it happens, right? So the harder you work, the luckier you become. You do have to put in the work. You have to try to help yourself make those dreams happen.
Right. So
Mhm.
do you have any examples of things you've put on your vision board that have come to fruition?
Yeah, so several years ago, I wanted to buy a house and I was able
Yeah.
to buy a house. I wanted a new car. I got a new car. I wanted to write my book. I wrote my book. I wanted to get in a relationship with a guy who had a boat. And that happened.
Oh,
Funny little things like that too. Yeah, they can be
nice.
big or little things that you want. Mhm.
Now, do you categorize them in terms of different categories like health, wealth,
I do. Yes.
prosperity,
I try to use all the
community?
aspects
Like,
of wellness, definitely. So wellness is 7 dimensions of wellness. So you want to make sure that you incorporate all of them. So a lot of people think of, ooh, money. Money honestly is just one tiny little section. And
right,
it's really not the money itself, is what will the money bring to you? What are the opportunities? Are you going to be able to donate, be in giving out that money?
right,
Yeah. You don't want to rely on money for your happiness because it's fleeting. It can come and go. It's
right.
external. So true happiness comes from inside. Don't look for happiness from money. Definitely.
Gotcha.
But I do agree this is a wonderful time of year to start on your journey of journaling, self-discovery, creating your goals, your mantras for the new year. And you don't have to wait for the new year. You can do it anytime. The best time is the time that you're actually going to start doing it.
I think I heard a quote once said that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago.
Yes.
And the second best time to plant a tree is today. And I think your vision board is kind of like that. You should start working on it. It really, for me, it's been very powerful. And like I say, this is the time of year I do it, and I'm going to put one together to replace the one I did last year. And as I look at the one I did last year, I see all the things that did come to fruition. I'm very grateful for that, and I'm glad that I went through the practice. That was the first time I'd done one in quite a few years, so it's amazing. Like, it really is. I highly recommend, if you've never done a vision board, it is a great thing to do.
And I would like to just say something that you touched upon is that's very important, is that you took a moment to look at your vision board and appreciate everything that you accomplished. I think sometimes we're always focusing on the future, and once we hit a goal, we move to the next goal and the next goal, and we forget to just pause for a moment and appreciate everything that we've already accomplished. And even if you're not able to accomplish everything, just appreciate your efforts that you tried, because just trying is huge, and you should be really proud of yourself for just trying.
If you're genuinely putting forth the
Mhm.
effort, yes,
Yes,
yes. You know, one of the things, as looking through that, I noticed this reference to the inner child. Why is that an important thing to consider?
So we're formed, our personalities, our traits, our habits, our limiting beliefs from our childhood. From when we're a young child, developmentally, that's where we're really affected. And not to blame anybody and not to blame people who raised you, right? Because you do have to take life into your own hands once you're an adult. But a lot of our thoughts and beliefs come from when we're a child and how we were raised, that upbringing. Was it positive? Was it difficult? Did you learn from it? Etc. So that inner child, lots of times, in order to heal and be the best version of yourself, you do usually have to go back to your childhood and see how that's affecting you.
How do you do that? How do you go back to your childhood?
I think it's being honest with yourself about your situation, who you are, how you were raised. And again, not putting blame on anybody. Your parents or whoever raised you did the very best that they could in that moment with the resources they had. So it's not a blame game. It's just really taking the time, being willing to be vulnerable and honest with yourself about who you are, what your strengths are, and what your weaknesses are, and how you can improve upon them to make yourself happier.
Do you feel like you can cultivate a communication with your inner child?
Definitely. And that's one of the exercises in there is you could write to your younger self. You can write to your younger self, give yourself advice or gratitude, or say that you understand the situations that your inner child was in and that they're safe, they're okay now.
So that's something you could put in your journal.
Definitely.
So you could take time with the intention, I'm going to write a letter to my former self as a
Yes.
child from your perspective now.
Yes.
And what would you hope would happen as a result of that?
As a child, we're not armed with the knowledge that we do as an adult, right? So as an adult, we know that as children, a lot of things are out of our control,
Right.
right? We can't blame ourselves. Lots of times that we are reliant on the people who are taking care of us.
Right.
And lots of times we do blame ourselves as a child for things that really were out of our control. So it's just letting your younger self know that, no, you are innocent.
And you made it to where you are now.
Yes, yep.
And there were things, although painful, that you may have experienced, you made it through and you have a new perspective.
Yes, and you're
on
stronger
those.
now. Yep.
Amazing. How about your future self? Can you communicate with your future self?
Oh, yes, and actually, that's actually a great practice too. You can write yourself a letter to your future self. You can pick the time frame. It could be a year, it could be 10 years from now, and you state it in the positive. So it's like a positive affirmation, and you can write down your goals, what you hope to accomplish by then. Like, I'm so proud of myself. I wrote this book that I've been wanting to.
So you're taking it like it's already been done.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm in a successful, committed relationship. Say if you're younger and you want to have children, you can say how many children you have, how they're happy and healthy. So whatever your goals are for the future, you can write your future self that letter, stating it as if it already happened, so that your subconscious mind believes it and it helps it happen.
Wow. Andrea, what would you say was the one breakthrough? What would it kind of open your eyes to this world of journaling and communication with your child and mirroring work and affirmations. What was the kind of the breakthrough that led you to this?
I really believe going through my health and life coaching certification really amped it all up.
So why did you want to do that though? Why did you want to do the health and life coaching
Well, I've
certification?
always been into health and wellness. I've always loved helping people. So I've been a personal trainer, a fitness instructor, 20 plus years because I love helping people. And it was more just that physical. And then I realized as I was coaching people, they were kind of using me as their therapist.
Right.
And I realized even with the taking care of your physical body, a lot of that goes back to your emotional. Like, right, a lot of people eat for comfort, right? So the knowledge is out there. People know what they need to do to be healthy. It's just what's preventing them. Why are they not reaching their goals? The people. So when I was coaching, doing the personal training, I realized, wow, I want to really be able to help these people to the next level. And that's when I went into my coaching.
So you had some success coaching your clients, but you came to the realization there were some blockages that they had, and uncovering those is what led you to this type of work to
Yes.
become a coach,
Yes, I
a life
wanted to
coach.
get the knowledge to be able to help them further.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Cliff, I don't know where we are. Are we ready for, we're going to take a little break here. When we come back, we're going to talk with Andrea some more about maybe taking us through one of these meditations that she has in her book. So thank you so much. This is Careology.
The Science of Caring. We'll be right back.
Two Men in a Truck of the Treasure Coast. You want to move your business without moving a single meeting? You want it handled with no fuss. Lots of stuff, no time to move it. You need the pros that care. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck of the Treasure Coast. Family owned and operated franchise. Call 772-236-0827. 772-236-0827. Movers who care. Visit twomeninatrucktreasurecoast.com. Thinking of building your next home or renovating? Come see us at Grozer Builders. We will create a home suited for your lifestyle. With years of experience means we give you a complete professional service from a dream to a concept. You will get the best results, best value, best quality is what you get from Grozer Builders. Visit us at grozerbuilders.com. You deserve better. You deserve Grozer.
Have you been wondering what your valuables are worth? Bring them to St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin, and their friendly staff will tell you, and they'll pay you top dollar. Hi, it's Evan 9 from the morning show, and I can personally tell you from experience that St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin is the place to go for all your jewelry needs.
Hi, this is Hawk Levy from St. Lucie Jewelry and Coins. I want to tell you all thank you for voting us #1 again. Best jewelry and coin dealer, best gold and silver buyer, and best jewelry store.
You know the demand has never been more for fine jewelry, signed jewelry pieces, coins, coin collections, paper money, Rolex, and all luxury watches, even designer purses. You ask why you should sell to St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin? It's real simple. They buy your jewelry as jewelry and not scrap. They resell everything on the international auction platform and in their local store. St. Lucie Jewelry does free confidential appraisals and house calls as well. St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin, located at US 1 and Walton Road in the Publix Plaza.
Recommendations.
We now return to Careology, the Science of Caring. Once again, here's your host, Miles McGrath.
Cliff, thank you so much. I can't believe it's already Thanksgiving. We've got some assignments here we've given the audience to start thinking about a vision board for next year. Again, we discussed best time to do it is today. And we've talked about communicating with our inner child. But I want to ask Andrea to take us through, give us an idea of what a meditation is. She's got one from her book. Andrea, can you take us through this loving kindness meditation that you have in your book?
Yes, I'd love to. So I just invite you to get nice and comfortable. And if you feel comfortable, you can gently close your eyes and just relax your body, get into the moment. So find a comfortable and quiet space to sit down, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths to relax. I'm going to inhale through the nostrils, fill the lungs up, let that belly puff out. And then exhale deeply out through your mouth. Feel the belly come in. Start by bringing your awareness to your heart center. Imagine a warm, loving light glowing within your heart. Repeat the following affirmations silently or out loud. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be at peace. As you repeat each affirmation, visualize the warm light in your heart expanding and enveloping your entire being with love and compassion. Now, bring to mind a specific moment when you felt loved and cared for. Relive that experience and allow yourself to feel the love and warmth that it brought you. Extend the feelings of love and compassion towards yourself. Embrace yourself with the same loving energy that you felt in that moment. If any negative thoughts or self-critical feelings arise during the meditation, acknowledge them without judgment and gently bring your focus back to the loving affirmations. Spend a few more minutes basking in the self-love energy, allowing it to fill every part of your being. When you're ready to conclude the meditation, take a deep breath and gently open up your eyes.
I think we need more of that today.
That's a
That
great
was
way to start your day, right?
That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, your voice is very nice.
Thank
You went into
you.
meditation voice.
Mhm.
That was
And
beautiful.
you see, it doesn't need to be long. You don't need to commit hours upon, I'm not expecting to be a monk and go up in the caves and the mountains, just take 3 minutes. If that's what you can commit to, 3 minutes.
Now you could, when you get Andrea's book, she's got that meditation written out. You could record that into your cell phone and hear your voice guide you through your own meditation.
Yes, that's a great idea.
One of the things you talked about is boundaries and how to set boundaries. I think that is a common issue that people are facing, is getting too involved in things maybe they shouldn't. And how do you help people with their boundaries with the work that you do?
Mhm. Oh, boundaries is definitely a big one. Most people deal with boundary issues. And really, at the end of the day, boundaries is a way of self-respect, right? It's respecting yourself, valuing your time and your energy. And people will take advantage of you. You have to teach people how to treat you. And one way is by creating healthy boundaries for yourself and others. So it can be in work, then you make it known to your boss that I'm only available during these hours.
Right.
And then the rest is my personal family time. It can be in relationships, creating boundaries where you're comfortable, what will work for you in this relationship and what won't. And it's okay to state what will work for you. And you can create boundaries without guilt. I think a lot of moms suffer from this. They put everybody else before them. And then if they do try to take care of themselves, they have a lot of guilt and shame around that. But really, taking care of yourself really should be a priority, because you can't pour from an empty vessel, right? So you have to fill your own cup up first, and then you can be there for others. So one way to be there for yourself is by creating boundaries.
Can you give me an example how you would say that if you wanted to create a boundary around, well, make it easy one like work? How would you approach that?
That one definitely was one I used to suffer from. I used to be available 24/7. It's very easy now with social media and cell phones. Your clients can constantly be reaching out to you. They have your personal information. And just again, like I said, just stating, no, I'm accessible during these hours and
So
I'm more than happy to help
let's
you.
role play, Andrea. Like, I've got some things, Andrea, I need you to do on the weekend for me. We've got these places I want you to, that's part of my expectation. Are you okay with that?
Honestly, I love helping you and I love being a team player, but during those hours on the weekend, I'm just not available.
Oh, wow. I was expecting you would be.
No, sorry. That's and actually I just caught myself also learning to set your boundaries without having to apologize. And that is definitely something that I still work on myself.
I
I
thought
let that I'm sorry slip out.
I do. I heard that over and
Mhm.
over again just the other day. People, it's like, it's a habit. Like, I'm sorry. And they didn't really do anything
Mhm.
wrong. And they're constantly apologizing. And it, it is, I mean, there's times to apologize, don't get me wrong, but when it's overly, it becomes like a knee-jerk response. It's not, but your body's hearing that, saying I'm sorry. Like,
Mhm.
but you should congratulate yourself
Yes.
about setting that boundary.
Well, I think we tend to be
Yeah,
people pleasers. And
right.
again, that comes from your childhood.
Not all of us, but yes, there's some of us.
Yes,
Some of us in this room here.
we get value from pleasing others.
Yeah.
And also sometimes we take it too far because we get our worth from being there for others. And that's when people don't know how to say no. Okay, I'll do this fundraiser, this charity, this, and then we drain ourselves because
Yeah.
we just want people to like us. And we think that if we say
Yes.
no to others,
Yes.
that's going to turn them away.
Yes.
But really, people learn to respect you more when you do have your boundaries in place.
I would equate it to having agreements with people.
Yes.
You're having an agreement about something before it occurs, where you're setting the guidelines. But we so often get caught up into things, we don't pause to say, okay, let's set up the agreement before we get into this.
That is great. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely in relationships
Yeah.
and work, personal, definitely. That is
Yeah.
great. Sometimes, things come up that you don't always think about in
Right.
advance.
And I also think in the situation we role played with the work, maybe you didn't know what you were getting into, and you could ask your manager and say, look, can I talk to you for a few minutes? When I first started, I had no idea that this was part of it. Can we renegotiate this situation? I mean, why can't you? Of course you can. If it's not working for your life, you should be able to ask to reset the boundary there if it's not healthy.
Yes, I agree. And that's great. That goes
Yeah.
back to the communication,
Yeah.
being comfortable enough to.
Ask for permission, but that's where the confidence comes in. I think that's another thing you touch on in your book. You did, I did, we talked about the other day, we talked about mirror work, and there's like a picture of a little mirror there. And I'm wondering, what do you think about combining that with your affirmations?
Oh, definitely. That's a great idea.
So
And
what
you
would
want
that?
to, and if you can state your affirmations out loud in a very convincing manner, that
Yeah.
definitely helps.
100%. It makes it more effective. Just saying your affirmations kind of in a humdrum way, I am loved versus I am loved. That's
Definitely.
a totally different thing. But when you say it to the mirror, it takes it to the next level. That's
And you
what,
really look at yourself
right.
in the
You
eyes.
look at it in the mirror and say, that's
Yeah.
a Louise Hay thing too. But you had that picture of the mirror, and I just thought that was kind of coincidental that we were just discussing that. And one of the things that you said about journaling was every night you're talking about gratitude. And since it is Thanksgiving, and that's my favorite holiday, is about gratitude. Why do you think that's so important on a daily basis, where you're just thinking about what you're grateful for before you go to sleep each night?
Well, gratitude is contagious. So the more you focus on your gratitude and the good things in your life, the more you're going to see them, the more it's going to come into fruition. And yeah, it takes the same amount of energy to be negative or positive. So I always say choose wisely. Are you
Yeah.
going to be positive or are you going to be negative? And we are vibrational beings. So how you are, that's going to have a ripple effect.
When you
upon the
say
others.
vibrational beings, Let's unpack that a little bit.
Well, you've walked into a room and you can feel the tension, right? If a couple's had just had a fight or something's weird in the room, you can feel that without even knowing. You can
Yes.
feel it.
Yes.
So we vibrate off energy.
So are you saying that if I'm in a state of gratitude, my vibration is better than complaining about things?
100%. And then you're going to attract probably more of the people that you want in your life when you're positive.
So resonating with other folks that are in gratitude.
Yes.
Interesting. And so that's why you're putting a priority on that on a daily basis, is focusing on what you're grateful for.
And it's great to be the light for others, because there are a lot of negative Nellies out there, right? And misery loves company. But if you can be that light and be that example, then you can help them. Themselves become positive.
So I view that practice almost as like taking your shower every day, is take your gratitude, bathe yourself in gratitude every day, so that you're putting yourself in a better place to be in the world, really.
Definitely. And it's a mindset thing. You're choosing to be grateful. You're choosing to be happy. You're choosing to be positive.
One of the other things we tend to do a lot is beat up on ourselves. We're like, oh, I did that wrong. I did that wrong. We constantly have that monkey mind going on that sees everything. And you alluded to this too, is talking about, congratulating ourselves in your book. You talked about that too. Talk a little bit about that. Why take time to congratulate? That sounds kind of a little bit egotistical. Like, why would I congratulate myself?
I think it is important for us to take a moment to appreciate our efforts and our accomplishments instead of always being in the future. I think as humans, we do tend to be very tough on ourselves, and we're very self-critical, that self-talk, that negative self-talk. So if we can just pause and reframe how we speak to ourselves, it really would make a difference in our lives.
I really think that part of the benefits of mindfulness, we hear that a lot, and we just went through that meditation, kind of a self-love meditation there. A lot of people would have a hard time with that because they feel this negativity about themselves. It's hard for them to look at themselves in a positive way. So I think you need to create a discipline around that. No, I made it to work on time today. Finding those things you did well. It goes back to the gratitude. You're going to increase more of those positive things in your day.
Yes. And it's just focusing on the small things that you're grateful for every day. Just you're alive. You have a roof over your head. There's so many things that we take for granted, especially living in a first world country. I mean, people would love to have our problems.
Like, I'm grateful to be here on the station WPSL, that we have a show, Careology. Careology is an offshoot of Care Bag, which gets to make a difference in the lives of our neighbors without walls, we like to call the homeless population. That Roseanne Brown, known as Roxy, that she, from her heart, created this charity to service these individuals, and it's grown over the last 6 years, and we're able to do that. Is an amazing accomplishment that her and her team have put together. Even this radio show, I remember when she brought this to the board and we were like, you're doing a radio show? Like, but it's really taken on its own little thing. And I think it's had an impact on the community to build awareness, not just for CareBag, but it's been a voice for other people in the community like yourself, Andrea. So that's one of the things I'm profoundly grateful for. What are some things you're grateful for, Andrea?
Oh gosh, I'm grateful for so much. I'm grateful to be alive, for my health, for my son, for my relations, for all these wonderful opportunities that I'm given, just like being here today with you. I'm grateful that we met.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'm grateful for my jobs, for my clients. So I'm grateful for everything. I really, truly am.
It's when you start listing it out, it really is amazing. Like this part of Florida, that we have the Treasure Coast here, the ocean is right near us. We get to see the little baby turtles come out of their
I love
shells. I
that.
mean, have you
Mhm.
seen that?
Oh yes, my son and I, we go
Uh,
searching for them every year on the beach.
it's incredible. We have Lake Okeechobee to our west, most amazing. If you've never watched a sunset over Lake Okeechobee, you should put that on your little local bucket list.
Ooh, I definitely will.
Yeah, you gotta. You can't even see the other side of it. It's so vast. The welcoming environment we have here on the Treasure Coast, and we have new residents moving in, but everybody is so welcoming and so open. Amazing that we have this weather this time of year.
No, we live in paradise. We're so lucky.
I mean, we pay for it. We have storms and things like that, but this time of year, there's parts of the country that very cold and shoveling snow. And
Yep.
if you've lived in Florida your whole life, then you don't know what that's all about. But if you've spent any time up north, you know that
Yes.
just getting to work in the morning, ice on your window, all that stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah, I don't miss that. Making a little pathway for my dogs to go out to the bathroom. No, I'm done. Done with that.
so that is incredible. Now I noticed you had another book. I went on Amazon. I noticed you had another book on there as well. What is the other book that you wrote?
Yeah, so it's Single Mom Slaying It. It's another empowering resource guidebook. And I did have a few contributing authors, all female written. And it's just a guide and resource for women who are going through a divorce or are recently divorced or thinking about divorce, and just helping them. And it is also a lot of personal development in that book as well.
Right. Now that they can find it, what do they search for to find either of your books on Amazon?
Maybe Andrea Pearson or by the title. So that one was Single Mom Slaying It.
Right.
And then my newest journal is Embrace Your Essence, A Journey of Self-Love.
Wow. Because that's exactly how I found it on Amazon. It is there. I think there's another Andrea Pearson, but those two, if they come up, you'll see on there. Now, do you teach yoga classes still?
Yeah, so I used to have a yoga studio, and I do one-on-ones or small groups.
Okay. Is there a number if somebody wants to? Do you want to give a website or a phone number where they can get in touch with you on these things?
Oh, sure, I can give you a phone number for that. It's 772-208-0807.
Okay. And what are some events happening at the Jensen Beach Chamber that our folks here on the Treasure Coast should know about? What's coming up?
Oh, we got our big one, Taste of Jensen, Tuesday, December 5th in the evening. We might just have a few limited tickets left, so if you're interested, I would grab them ASAP. All our wonderful local restaurants serve sample sizes of their dishes, and we get to walk around and sample them. We do the lighting of the Christmas tree. We have choirs, we have live bands, we have the golf carts decked out in their holiday spirit. It's a really fun family event.
Wow, that's Tuesday, December 5th?
Correct.
At what time?
5:30.
5:30, all along the Jensen Beach Boulevard there, down where the
Correct.
chamber is,
Yes.
across from our favorite New Orleans
Oh, yes.
restaurant there.
Yep.
Oh gosh, that is going to be. What other things are coming up?
We do our annual art show at the end of January. We do an benefit in the mall. I believe that might be March. I'd have to double check
Right.
the exact date. But yeah, the chamber does do a lot of events throughout
Nice.
the year, and you can
Nice.
find the events on jensenchamber.com.
Beautiful, beautiful. So what now? You've got two books. What is the next project for you in terms of your authorship? Do you have something in the hopper that we can help you manifest into fruition here on the radio today?
Right now, I'm just focusing on promoting this newest journal, and I'd like to get some more coaching clients out of them, speaking gigs. I do have a few things lined up already, so I'm
Right.
excited about that. But yeah, just growing this one. I definitely do have another book in me. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. It might be more like fitness, health related. I'm not sure exactly yet, but definitely in that personal development, health, wellness realm.
So interesting. We talk about authorship. A lot of people feel like they have a book inside them. What would you say to that budding author has that idea, but they just keep putting it off, or they're not doing it? What encouragement would you give?
Nike, just do it. You have to take action. Plan it into your schedule. It's not going to just happen on its own. Again, you create your own luck. You create your own manifestations by taking action. So even if you take 15 minutes each day and write, time block it, make it happen.
So put that writing time on your schedule.
Yes.
Every day. Step one. What's step
Make
two?
it a priority.
Step two.
Step two is you can research, just find out, learn as much as you can about the process, because there is a lot involved. It's definitely doable, but you do have to educate yourself. You have to learn what's involved, what are your options, what are the best key practices.
I had other authors on the show, and one of their things that they're doing is they're part of writers groups. Are you
Yes.
part of any writers groups?
Yes, you can be a part of writers groups. There's so many Facebook groups. There's so many free resources. YouTube is my best friend. I get so much information about marketing on YouTube.
Do you have a favorite inspiring author some books that you really want to recommend to the audience other than your books?
Rachel Hollis, I love her. She's got a lot of I like personal development books. I'm all into books like that.
Rachel Hollis, I've not heard of her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
Now,
personal development.
how about who else?
Oh gosh, you're putting me on the spot now. You mentioned Louise Hayes. All her books are wonderful.
Right.
I've read a lot of her stuff. Michael Singer, Dwayne Dwyer.
Wayne Dyer, yeah.
Wayne Dwyer, yep. There's so many. There
Beautiful.
really are. Just
Beautiful.
look up self-help, personal development in Amazon. There's so many great authors out there, and I truly believe in supporting all of them.
So in terms of the yoga, I want to go back to that a little bit. How long have you been practicing yoga?
Oh gosh. Long time, probably at least 20 years.
Do you see a connection between self-development and the different things that are happening within yoga, the postures and the different things that happen there?
Oh yeah. So yoga, we say it's not a workout, it's a work in.
Right.
A lot of yogis start because they're on a journey of, believe it or not, self-love, self-discovery, healing. A lot of people go into yoga to heal themselves, not just physically, but emotionally. So there is definitely a huge connection. Yoga is very spiritual in nature. It's a spiritual work in.
How do you make that connection between like a stretch? Just from an outsider looking at, oh, we're stretching in our downward dog, we're doing a stretch. How does that transcend to self-development?
So there's all different types of yoga. One of the most difficult ones is when you actually do hold a pose, an asana, because we're always going. We always want to be moving our bodies. Sometimes the most difficult thing to do is sit in stillness, sit physically without moving, and emotionally sitting with our own thoughts. That's where the mindfulness, the meditation, the yoga, it's all interconnected. Sitting with your own self, loving your own self.
So the postures and the holding it is a framework for the mind to sit with itself, is what you're saying?
Yes, the mind-body connection, 100%.
Interesting. Do you do hot yoga, or do you what different yogas
I do it all because there's just so many different benefits and
Right.
different types. Yeah. I love this flowing yoga, which is more like a workout.
Right.
There's the deep, long poses, which is more of a work in.
Right.
Yes. The hot is detoxifying. We always want to be detoxifying our body physically and detoxifying our thoughts.
So they
Thoughts
work.
that no longer serve
so
you.
the outside works with the inside, and the inside works with the outside.
Yes.
What do you think's more important, the outside muscles being stronger, or the inside? Which one do you think's more important?
I believe that your foundation is the internal. That's where I'm such a big proponent of self-love. Loving yourself is the foundation for everything, and then it goes outwards into branches.
So if somebody's having a block, it goes back to why you started in this, is you're realizing that self-love might have been missing, or there's some trauma there that they have to deal with.
Yes.
Once that is work with, and the other pieces fall into place. Is what you're saying?
Yes, and there's scientific proof of the connectiveness between the mind, body, spirit.
Amazing, amazing. Where did you? Well, I'm just going to go the kind of last question. We're going to be wrapping up here, but where did you learn your yoga practice?
A lot of it was self-taught, just going to classes, YouTube. I mean, there's so many free resources. We're so lucky,
Right.
right? We're so grateful to have all that stuff.
Interesting. Andrea, it has been a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for taking the time to put your inspiration in this journal, for sharing your experience, sharing these tools that you're using to help guide your clients and those that are just buying your book. I really appreciate you and appreciate your time on Careology today.
Thank you. It was my honor being here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, we've done it again. You've been listening to Careology, the Science of Caring, with Miles McGrath in for Roxy Brown. And, of course, our guest today, Andrea Pearson. Just remember, this is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast. Don't forget the QR code that you'll see on your screen once in a while on the archive. You focus your camera on your cell phone to that QR code and visit CareBag. This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.